Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Today is the AI Masterclass, our first masterclass we are doing for the first quarter. I am so excited about what we're going to be focusing on every week in Level Up with Lori, which we're doing right now. And once a quarter, our Level Up Zoom is going to focus on AI. And so today we're focusing on AI productivity and systems to help you, build productivity and grow your business no matter what your skill level. So I've got some people joining the from the waiting room right now. So let me just add them. Welcome everybody. As you're hopping on, just put in the chat, say hi, let everyone know you're here. Also, I just wanted to tell you guys, oh geez, Louise, what is happening? Sorry about that. Um, I'm having a weird technical difficulty. Okay, everything's fine. I wanted to tell you, so two things. One, if you do not yet have this book, I want to encourage you to get it. I haven't even read through the whole thing. It's just an awesome, awesome tool to reference for prompts and different things. It's AI for sales pros. So definitely recommend that. And then the other thing you guys are going to be getting after today, everyone that registered for today's Zoom, you're going to get the playback recording and the worksheet afterwards. And then I'm also going to be sending you the AI prompt cheat sheet. And so this is a cheat sheet of some of my favorite go-to prompts to put into AI for your business, specifically around productivity as a realtor, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, depending on kind of like where you're at. With that being said, we're going to dive in. Let me go ahead and pull up our slides. Hopefully you guys can all see that. Let me hit present. Cool. Okay, if you cannot see that, put it in the chat, but hopefully you can. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So, like I said, welcome. Today is AI Masterclass for quarter one, focus on AI productivity for realtors, the 2026 agent system. And the goal of today is essentially to help you remove any fear or limiting beliefs you may have around AI, to remove the hype, help you establish more credibility, and learn. Hopefully, you leave with some tools to help you with how to use AI more effectively. If any of you have ever played around with AI and been like, oh my gosh, I sound like a robot, or I would never say that, or you've ever read anybody else's AI, something that they sent, and you're like, oh, that email was totally AI, right? None of us want to be that way. We want to be human. And so the goal of today is that this is not just an AI class about, shortcuts or, how to spam people or replace your real work. This is a class about executing the fundamentals more consistently. Essentially, it's like we're going to focus on how to create your AI assistant. How can we create less mental friction for you so that you can stay in productivity and stay focused on the things that grow your business the most? So I really believe this to be so true. And who here can relate to this? Just put it in the chat if you feel my pain. But I think so many times in the real estate world, agents don't fail from lack of knowledge, meaning lack of like knowing what to do. A lot of times we fail or burn out due to decision fatigue, too many things to choose all the time. Inconsistency, we're busy, we're lead generating, then we're not, up and down, the roller coaster, or overthinking simple tasks. Oh gosh, I need to make a social media post, but what should I talk about and how should I do it? And 4 hours later, we're still thinking about that social media post we need to make, right? And that is where AI can come in to help you enhance your productivity and get moving because it's not, here's the thing that I think is a big misconception with AI. And I just want to say as a precursor really quick, if any of y'all can relate to this, when AI first started like really, really coming on the map, for me, I felt like my awareness around it was like a year ago probably. But I was not a fan. Can any of y'all relate? I was like, oh my gosh, robots are taking over the world. Like, I don't want to participate. And what I came to the realization of is number one, that train has left the station. You know what I'm saying? Like, AI is here, it's not going anywhere. And the fact of the matter is, the people that choose to put their head in the sand or not master how to use it effectively are going to get left behind. However, at the same time, it's also crucial that as a professional, we all learn how to work with and master AI effectively so that we don't over time make ourselves dumber, if you know what I mean, because we stop using our brain, but we use it to help enhance our creativity, enhance our thinking, and just move forward faster. And so it's all about how you choose to use AI intentionally. What is the result you want to get? And how are you going to move forward? It's not designed to make you successful because you are already capable of being successful. You already have everything it takes. You're a brilliant human being. The goal of AI is simply that it can make success easier to repeat and more efficient. If you've ever felt like, oh my gosh, I wish I had $4 zillion to hire an assistant to handle my life, or if I only had a social media company to write all my email and content, or if I only had someone to help me find my blind spots in my calendar so I could stop feeling so overwhelmed. Those are the things that AI can do that can save you tons of money and tons of time. Can y'all get excited about that? I hope so. I know I can. Okay, so like I kind of just alluded to this, but this was really the mindset shift for me. I don't know if any of y'all can relate to this at all, but AI is already here. And now, first of all, I want to point out something that I want to help you all think about is that we're like, oh my gosh, AI is here, and like I kind of joked about earlier, I was like, oh, robots are going to take over the world. I don't know what I think about this. Can I please go back to 1990? Although I may still feel like that in some part of my soul, I am embracing this because it is the future. But I want you to think about this. How many of you have asked your phone for directions, have talked to Siri, have talked to your, what's that thing, the Alexa in your house? You use text rewrite on your phone, a schedule send, you've used any automation for your Instagram or a quick summary from something for the week. That's all AI. So AI really is not brand new. AI has been around for a long time. What we're witnessing now is sort of like the hyperspeed of technological advancements around AI and how it can integrate beyond just being our GPS and our Amazon Alexa, right? So it's not something in the future. It is already here. It's embedded in everyday tools. Most of us are already using it without realizing it. And so I really think the shift is not learning AI necessarily, it's structuring your work around it, learning how to work it effectively, right? It's not designed to be an extra to do. It's a force multiplier. So I want you to write that down. That was a thought shift for me. AI is a force multiplier. I don't need to block time out to use AI. I need to use AI to give me more of my time back and give me more impact within the time that I'm investing into my real estate routine. That is really what AI is for and what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to be really tactical today, just so you guys know. I know I told you I'm going to send you the AI prompt cheat sheet after this, but I'm really going to go through actual tactical prompts in this training today. So write them down, screenshot them, or whatever, so you can start playing with them based on what you need in your business right now. So let's talk about, first of all, AI through the MREA lens. Now, for those of you who are not with Keller Williams, as you know, this is open to any and all agents. MREA, if you're not familiar, just stands for the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And that is our blueprint within Keller Williams to help agents make $1 million plus in profit per year. When you follow that model, you get that result. And isn't that exciting to feel like you don't have to run yourself into the ground in real estate? You can work proactively and effectively. So looking at AI in that way, our goal is to help you amplify your execution for all of the MREA models so that you can be more efficient and more effective quicker. So of course, when you're looking at the economic model, it is going to help you break down goals into math faster. Praise the Lord. Can anyone relate? I don't know about y'all, but I'm a people person. Like my gifts are language, communication, people connection. My gifts are not math. And if your gift is math, God bless you. I wish it was mine. But the economic model, I love goals and numbers and formulas. And also it has overwhelmed me in the past because I'm like, it makes my brain hurt thinking about, all those breakdowns as important as they are. And so I love that AI can help you break down your math faster if you get bogged down in the numbers. It can also help you see your gaps objectively. So you're not just adjusting your goals based on your own opinion. It helps you remove emotional guessing from your business planning. I don't know about y'all, but I definitely love numbers in that numbers and mathematical formulas and goal setting remove your emotions. And emotions are fickle. And if you rely on emotions in your business of how you feel from one day to the next, your real estate business and your commission checks are going to look like this because that's how emotions are from one moment to the next. That's the power of leaning into the economic model is it helps your business look much more like this. So we're going to talk about that. We'll also talk about lead generation. Using AI through lead generation is going to help you stay consistent, reduce friction, never wonder what the heck should I say in your outreach, but you don't have to sound like a robot. Lead conversion is so powerful. We're going to talk about that today too. Preparing for conversations, anticipating objections, following up intelligently with every prospect instead of canned responses. And the leverage model, we'll talk a little bit about this today. AI, I really believe when you're thinking about your business, once you start to hit that ceiling, which for most agents as a solo agent, as you're growing your business, you can probably handle your business as a solo agent up to about 20 to 24 units typically. And once you get to about 20 to 24 units a year, you start to kind of feel like you're hitting your ceiling, like your hair's on fire. This is just typical, everybody's different, but generally speaking, that's the time where people start to be like, "Oh my gosh, I need help." And then people can tend to get really overwhelmed with the idea of hiring an assistant and can end up keeping themselves stuck at that same ceiling because they're like overwhelmed by the thought of hiring an assistant. Well, the beauty of AI is that AI really can be the first leverage that most agents can lean into practically for free. And it's definitely the last one you should ignore. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get started. We're talking about the economic model first. And this is a really great prompt that you can use for your income goal analysis. And I will tell you, I played around with this one today, earlier this morning, and y'all, it blew my mind. Like, I also want to preface this to say that whatever AI you're using, so one thing I would recommend, and there's varying opinions about this because I know there's like a zillion AI options out there. But generally speaking, I recommend choose one that you're going to go all in with. Now, if you're with Keller Williams, remember you get Gemini Pro at no cost as a part of being with Keller Williams. So that saves you money every month. If you're not using Gemini Pro, of course, you can also use ChatGPT Pro. It's like 20 bucks a month. Those are the two that I personally enjoy the most or I find the most workable. But I do recommend pick one because once you start working with one of the things, the GPTs, whether it's Gemini or Chat or whichever one, it gets to know you. So and this is why a pro account's really important because it has a memory and saves everything about you. So the more you talk to it, the more you tell it about yourself, the more you interact with it, versus just commands all the time, it gets to know you more and more and more and more. And so and I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that, but um, generally speaking, I've got the background information filled out permanently for me. So it knows like the basics about me, and everything, like how I want it to talk to me. But also, another thing that I do to help my AI get to know me is I ask it to interview me. So I'm kind of pausing on this slide for a second. We'll talk about this prompt in a minute. But that was really powerful for me. So, like as an example, when I started doing this, I would say to AI, and you could do this when you're driving, like whenever, because you can just voice talk to it instead of type, right? And so I would just say, "Hey, I want to set really clear goals for 2026." I'm just giving you an example. I want to set really clear goals for 2026. And I want to make sure that my goals reflect my priorities and that the actions I'm taking every day are going to help me move forward towards that. Please interview me and ask me 5 to 10 questions about myself, my priorities, and my business to get to know me more, so that we can set these goals. And then it'll ask you those questions. And then literally what I would do is I just hold down the little talk button. So I'm not typing, I just talk into it. Like you could like ramble for like 10 minutes and it'll record the whole thing and transpose it and send it. And so it might be like, "Oh, okay, well, tell me about what's important in your life." And I'd be taking a walk around the neighborhood and just be like talking to chat, blah, 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 telling it all about what's important in my life. And it uploads it. And then it saves all that history about me. So then when I put in this prompt today, it was amazing. I literally just typed this exact sentence in today. Based on my income goal I put in the number I want to make. Tell me the minimum activities I must execute weekly and where I'm currently underperforming. And it blew my mind. It told me yes, it broke down like, "Hey, here's how many calls you should make every day, blah, blah, blah." But it also was like, "And based on your calendar and everything we talk about, here's your blind spots. Here's where you're falling short. Here's where you're spending too much time and where you need to shift." And I was like, it blew my mind. So I really want to encourage you to allow your Gemini or ChatGPT to interview you regularly, instead of just saying, "Hey, help me create goals," because that's how you start to move out of the canned AI world into personalized AI world, and to stop, to really customize your experience. So I love that prompt. It's a really powerful prompt to start if you're just thinking about like, okay, what do I really need to focus on or shift this year in my business? Okay, so that is your prompt for the economic model today. Lead generation model. I hope this is helpful, by the way. Put your questions in the chat. We'll look at them at the end. But the next thing I want to talk with you guys a little bit about today is lead generation. This is an advanced prompt, and there's a few variations of it, things you can do and say to help you with lead generation. Also, if you have not done this yet, I would highly recommend get with myself or Stephanie if you're at our office, and we can actually upload your KPA. If you guys don't know what that is, KPA is your strengths assessment that Keller Williams created. It basically takes your strengths as a human being and points out how those strengths show up in real estate. We have a system that we have developed through ChatGPT where we can then take that strengths assessment and nail down specifically based on you, your strengths, your how you're wired. Here's the ways you should be lead generating. Here's the exact ways you should be showing up on social media. Here's the things you should never be doing because they'll burn you out. And so it can really help with getting clarity around what you should be doing for lead gen. So if you have not done that yet and want to, let me know, and I will definitely be happy to do that. But I love this one because it helps you to reduce friction. It helps you to never wonder what the heck should I say, and helps you match your tone and relationship. So you just ask AI, create 3 different lead gen scripts for the same message: one warm, one neutral, one confident. So example, if you wanted to be like, hey, I need to talk to my database today. It's a snow day. Everyone's snowed in. So, and remember, you can just talk into AI and ramble on about your situation and then give it the prompt, right? So you could say, "Hey, I'm snowed in today. My kids are off of school, and I really want to focus on my database today and see what I can generate, but I don't want to seem salesy and pushy because everyone's also snowed in and I want to bring value. Please help me create 3 different lead generation scripts for how I could connect with my database today during the snow day to add value and find out who may know someone that needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. Create one that's warm, one that's neutral, one that's confident." And it'll create it, and then you can run with that. So that's a great way that you can use AI for lead generation quickly. One of my favorite things about AI, I don't know about you guys, but once it starts to get to know you, oh my goodness, I mean, this can all happen so, so fast. Lead conversion. This is your advanced prompt for objection anticipation. So with lead conversion, I want you to think about like the goal of what you want to be using AI for when you're doing lead conversion is, of course, preparing for those conversations, anticipating what people, your lister, your seller, your buyer, your seller, your lead, whoever might say. You want to anticipate those objections and follow up intelligently. It's also a great thing that you can do role play practice with AI. And you can say, hey, these are the objections that, give me the most common objections for this, and then let's work through together how to overcome those. And it'll actually role play with you. But this is the prompt. Pretend you're my client after our first showing. What concerns would you likely have that I should proactively address? Of course, you can give it more context. If you have, let's say you have something very specific, like, hey, I just worked with a client yesterday. It was our first appointment. We looked at 3 houses, or let me rephrase that. Hey, I'm about to meet with this client for the first time. We're about to look at his or her first 3 houses, looking at, based on what they've told me they want and looking at these homes. Here's what I think some of the objections may be. Help me talk through those. What concerns would you likely have that I should proactively address? And it will help you talk about those up front so that you can follow up intelligently. It's almost like the concept of let's overcome objections before someone presents objections. It's the most effective way to do that. Okay, so all that to be said, we're going to talk a little bit about leverage now. Those are just a few fun prompts. Like I said, I'm going to send you a whole prompt cheat sheet, so I hope that that's really helpful to you. But we're not just going to spend this whole class today talking about here's this prompt, here's that prompt. But one thing I think is really cool about AI that I learned this year is how you can use this as leverage. I really think AI is the first leverage most agents can afford. It's the last one any of us should ignore. But really, one of the cool things about it is you can create things for your business without having to know how to write HTML code. You can literally tell chat, create me a landing page, create me this resource, create me um, a website, and it'll actually do it without having to understand how it works. You just need to tell it what you want and it will. It's not just a writing tool, it's a thinking partner. So that is a really important concept. This is not a writing tool, it's a thinking partner. So think about when you're working with AI and you want to increase productivity, you don't just ask it what to do. You say, here's what I'm thinking. Here's the outcome I want. Here's my goal and the objective that I want to accomplish. Help me with scenarios in order to do that. Let's troubleshoot what could go wrong, right or wrong with X, Y, or Z options. You can use this when you're planning an open house. Ask AI, hey, I want to hold two open houses this weekend, or I've got an open house. The listing's been on the market for 3 weeks with two showings, and I really want to attract people. Given these neighborhoods and times, what are the highest impact lead gen activities I can do today to make it happen? AI is your co-pilot. It's not taking over your job. It's just helping you sort of like tighten up the loose bolts with what you're doing. I hope that makes sense. With that being said, we're going to talk about the 2026 agent system for AI. And here's what you really can expect to get out of AI when you're working specifically on productivity and systems. Now, remember, today's AI is only about productivity and systems. We're going to have an AI masterclass every quarter, and the other ones we'll get into AI social media, more specific AI lead gen, et cetera, et cetera. But this is just about productivity today. So I want to make sure we stay there. So what you'll really find you can use AI to create when you're developing a system of productivity for your business is it can help you create a clear weekly outcome, create those protected lead generation blocks, eliminate the decisions you have to make every day. Who would be excited to make 50% less decisions? Oh my goodness. Decisions start the second we open our eyeballs and by noon we're all tapped out, right? Um, it can help you with consistent follow-up and weekly review. So AI's role, when you think about your business, AI is your virtual assistant, and AI's goal is to reduce your thinking time, increase your follow-through, remove friction between intention and execution. And what we're going to focus on will create consistency without complexity. It allows you to focus on relationships, which is the part that we're all good at, right? Well, AI handles the mental load. So, like we talked about, AI is not just a writing tool, it's a thinking partner. So, as an example, when planning an open house blitz, we talked about that. What's the highest impact lead generation things I can do today? Um, Today, we are focused on using AI to support your daily and weekly execution. However, some of you may have already done this, or you will eventually go further than that, and you'll build custom GPTs, custom AI assistants that work exactly like you do. We are going to talk about that in future training. That's more advanced leverage. But I just wanted to make sure that we stayed, kind of in the lane that we need to today. Okay, so let's talk about the value tiers of AI. So essentially, like we talked about, we're focused on faster, better, and new stuff. So AI is going to speed up tasks you already do. It's going to improve the quality of your work, and it's going to unlock work you could realistically do beforehand. Understanding these tiers helps you recognize when AI is truly transforming your business versus just making it slightly faster. And the goal is that we want to truly transform your business so that you can be 5 steps ahead of the pack instead of just making you slightly faster, which that's what everybody's doing, right? So the first thing I want to tell you about, let me see, how do I have a slide about this? Hold on. Okay, yes, we have a slide coming up. We're going to talk about how to do a time audit on your calendar for AI in just a second. But this is a really great way, depending on if you are just starting to use AI or if you've been using it. And by the way, maybe put this in the chat. Which one do you feel like you are? Are you like, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to learn how to use it and make it not sound like a robot? You're kind of at the beginner stage. You're choosing which AI you're going to use consistently, or maybe you're intermediate, you've been using AI consistently, but you want to make it work for you more rather than you kind of just getting it to create a listing description for you. Or maybe you're in the more advanced category where you're like, I really want to dive deep. I've been playing with this for a while. So, whichever category, you're going to get something out of this today because this is how, as you develop your business, you will be able to protect your time. So, looking at just daily productivity hacks, here are the prompts to use based on where you're at. And again, you take a screenshot of this, take a picture. You'll also get a cheat sheet from me. If you're a beginner, the prompt is create a simple daily schedule for a real estate agent focused on lead generation and appointments. So if you just got your license yesterday and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck to do? I wish I would have had AI the first day I got licensed because this would have helped me a lot. And anybody remember that? Like when I first got licensed, I remember that next day being like I got licensed and I was like, woohoo, ain't nobody can tell me nothing. I got my license. What? And then like the next day I was like, oh my God, what the heck do I do? So where are my clients? And someone was like, how's the market? And I was like, I have not a clue, right? Like there's so much to learn and it can be overwhelming. And then as you grow your business, things shift, right? So that's a really great prompt just to get you a basis as a brand new agent. And remember, you can also ask it, interview me, ask me 5 questions before creating my simple daily schedule to learn about what's important for me and what I want my real estate business to look like. It'll give you much more custom response. Intermediate, optimize. So let's say you ask it that beginner question. Then you can say, optimize this daily schedule based on my energy levels and appointment goals. Ask me 3 to 5 questions to learn more about what my energy levels and appointment goals might look like so that you can create one custom for me. Then, based on this schedule, tell me which activities actually produce income and which are busy work. Take a look at my calendar. Where am I wasting time? What am I doing every day that's moving me forward? This is how you help AI show you your blind spots and help you move forward. Okay, so this was for our calendar, right? Productivity. Now we're looking at lead gen and follow up. Again, these are basic scripts and then we go through intermediate and advanced to help you with generating leads. So of course, beginner level, our focus, if you just got licensed in the last 6 months, this is where you want us to live. Help me draft a friendly follow-up text for a buyer who came to an open house yesterday. Remember, open houses, you guys, we have talked about this over the last couple of weeks. Open houses are exploding in 2026. Do not buy into the lie that open houses don't work. They do. And all you have to do is do them consistently. I would say, in my opinion, 1 to 2 every single weekend is ideal because open houses are a number game. However, even if you have 10 people come into every single open house, you're not going to convert any business from it if you don't follow up. The fortune is in the follow up, and that is where this comes in. What's that follow up text going to look like? And you can even be more specific. Help me draft a friendly follow up text for a buyer who came to an open house yesterday. My goal is blank. So, example, my goal is that they feel like I care about them, that I share value, and that they feel inclined to reply to me. What is the result you want to get? Tell AI what the result is, and it will tailor that for you. Intermediate level, rewrite this message in 3 tones: friendly, confident, professional. Then you can choose which one sounds most like you, or you can troubleshoot of what you feel like converts the most instead of just having to follow a list of scripts and dialogues that don't sound like you. You can even say, hey, take this, ask me 3 questions about how I like to interact with people to make this be more in my voice. So there's very specific things you can do to quickly get AI to talk in your voice. It doesn't have to take months to do that. And then your advanced prompt, given this client's behavior, suggest the most natural next follow-up that feels helpful, not salesy. So, and at this point, this is assuming you've been talking to chat about this client, right? You're not just saying that randomly, right? But you could preface this with saying, hey, I met with a potential listing client yesterday, a potential seller yesterday. This is what the things are about their house that I noticed. This is where I think it should be priced at. Here's how our conversation went. Here were their objections. Here was their demeanor. Given this client's behavior, suggest the most natural next follow-up that feels helpful, not salesy. If you've ever struggled with thinking about how the heck do I communicate with someone in their tone, and you've struggled with that psychology, we talk about like, oh, recognize if they're a D, an I, an S, or a C, or match their energy, but then you think you did and you still didn't get the listing. This is a way to help uncover like, where am I missing something here and how can I communicate more effectively? I really think that this is something to be thinking about, that at the highest level, most agents are going to be building custom AI assistants that are trained on their own language, the way they do listings, what their systems are. And that's where AI stops just becoming a fun tool that you have it create a caricature of you, and it becomes infrastructure built into your business. And again, we're going to talk about that in more detail in the next couple weeks. But I just love that. Remember, AI does not replace relationships. It protects them from neglect, because remember, the fortune's in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up, and we want you to be able to use this as a tool to help you be more efficient and more effective. Okay, so let's talk about a weekly review. If you're like, okay, cool, that all sounds good, but still, I feel like my hair's on fire every day and I can't get anything done. And oh my gosh, I've got kids running around the house today because they have no school. How the heck am I going to be effective? What I do today is going to show up 90 days from now and I've got to make money. Oh my gosh. Okay, if that's you, we're going to do a weekly review and a time audit. Most agents don't have a time problem. Yes, real estate can eat up your life if you let it, but the key word is if you let it. Most agents don't have a time problem. They have a visibility problem and a priorities problem. It's very easy for us to allow ourselves as agents to end up in reactive mode. Have you ever felt like that, where you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is look at your phone and you get a text or an email from a client or something's, on fire, and that's how we start our day, handling that. Next thing you know, subconsciously, we just let the whole day plow through with reacting to X, Y, and Z. We get to the end of our day exhausted, frustrated, and just spent without truly moving forward that much. We reacted, we solved some problems, we felt really busy, but how much were you really on purpose and intentional with the life you want to create this year? My husband, Josh, and I's word for the year is intentional for that reason. I find that anytime you're in a season where you feel really overwhelmed, 99% of the time, it has to do with living in reactionary mode instead of waking up and being intentional every day with how you're spending your time. And this weekly calendar review can really help shed light on where is my time going, right? If you've ever heard people talk about billionaires have the same amount of time in the day as everybody else does, super productive, effective people have 24 hours just like people that are not productive. It's all about how you spend it. Cool, that's a great thought, but like we still all have blind spots with what is happening to our time. And that's what I love about the calendar analysis. It makes AI personal. It exposes where maybe you're letting your time leak away or you're letting it get wasted, what your priorities might be clear or unclear about, and helps you really, really lock in on that CEO mindset. If you remember, treat your business like a business and it will pay you like a business. Businesses have boundaries, they have structure, and they don't just give time away, and you shouldn't either. And so here's what we're going to do. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. We're not going to do it live, but basically, here's what I want to challenge you to do after today is we are going to take your calendar. You're going to go now. If you don't use a Google Calendar, you could probably also upload, like if you use a paper calendar, you could probably also take pictures of your last couple months timesheets and do it that way. But this will be most probably seamless and effective if you work with a Google Calendar or some other type of electronic calendar where you input everything going on in your life. What you want to do is you export your Google Calendar. This is a lot easier than you might think. I will just say I got really overwhelmed with this when I was trying this exercise a few weeks ago. And then I realized, oh, you can just go to the little settings on your Google Calendar and you hit export and it'll just export the whole thing. I thought I had to download all sorts of plugins and stuff, and you don't have to do that. So, FYI. So, export your Google Calendar, and then you're going to put that link into ChatGPT. AI is basically going to become a mirror. It's going to show you the truth about how you spend your time. And help you with how you can restructure your week to get more income producing activities done versus distractions. And it'll show you all your time leaks. So here's the calendar analysis prompt. Again, you will get these slides, but feel free to take a picture if you want. So you're going to export the calendar, upload it to Gemini or ChatGPT, depending which one you're using. And you're going to say this: I'm a real estate agent. I'm going to paste my calendar. Now, I didn't do from last week personally. I just did for the year. But you can do however you want. So I'm going to paste my calendar in here. Please analyze how I spent my time and tell me what activities are income producing, what activities are support or admin, what activities are low ROI, which stands for return on investment or distractions. Where am I leaking time? How can I restructure my week to increase appointments? What should I protect more aggressively? And what should I consider eliminating or delegating? This is what I love. I know I put it at the bottom, but AI doesn't judge your calendar. It is so awesome because it's an assistant that's going to be real with you and tell you the truth, but also it doesn't really judge or care. And so you're like, oh, no one has to know that I wasted 4 zillion hours last month on whatever it was, right? Or no one has to know that I accidentally became a workaholic and ignore my family. I need to change that, right? Whatever your priorities are that need to shift, it'll see it and it helps you um, be real and shift your result. So that's what you're going to ask it, and it will tell you exactly where you're spending your time. And every agent that I've talked to that has done this has found this to be extremely eye-opening. And then you can ask it. Remember at the very beginning where that one prompt I gave you, it basically says, hey, based on my goals, what am I doing right? What am I doing that's making me money? What do I need to do different? It's the economic model prompt at the beginning of the slide deck. When you upload this calendar and then ask it that question, it will shock you because it will point out exactly the things that need to shift. So you don't need to waste a month wondering what do you need to do different or trying to do your business just like your friend who's different than you or going on Instagram and trying to be like some other realtor influencer that is different than you, right? It's the thing that I think is so important, you guys, is like AI is not AI. Real estate is so easy to get sucked into comparison, and then we waste our time spinning our wheels trying to be like other people or chasing 12 rabbits or trying to like fit into like what other people say works for them, when really this is just a competition against yourself. It's a race against yourself, and the people that win are mastering themselves and not worrying about what other people do. And that's why AI can be so powerful, because it is about mastering yourself, right? So once you do that, here are the more advanced calendar prompts that you can ask it. So you can do a gap analysis based on my income goal of blank and my current calendar. I kind of alluded to this just now. Show me the gap between how I'm spending my time and how top producing agents typically allocate their time. If I changed only one thing about my calendar next week to increase appointments, what should it be and why? I love that question so much because most of us, it's not that you need to overhaul your life and your work. A lot of times it's one small shift that can change everything. And we all know if you want your business to look different, it all goes back to lead gen and appointments, right? You need more consistent lead gen and more appointments in order to grow your pipeline. And that's what this focuses on. Okay. So I hope you guys are excited. That's like one of my favorite parts is the calendar prompt. I hope that was helpful for you guys. So the last thing we're going to do, we're almost done, and then I will open it up for questions. But what not to do with AI. Some of these might feel kind of obvious, but I feel like it's important to talk about because AI can be uh I don't know if overwhelming is the right word, but I think a lot of us like it feels so foreign. I saw somebody post there, there's that caricature trend going on right now, where everybody's posting their AI caricature. And I saw somebody post they were like, I'm so tired of AI. I wish it would go away, but also this is fun. And that I think really sums up how a lot of people feel. And unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're tired of AI, it's not going anywhere. It's going to get more and more and more. Like it's going to grow and become more ingrained in our society, not less. And that's out of our control. So we can't waste time and energy fighting against it. However, it's really important to like, are you using AI to waste time or become less human, or are you using it to work for you, right? This is essentially a free assistant that you can train to work for you. When we get into the other AI masterclasses this year, I'm going to teach you how to build your own custom GPTs, which means like you can go in AI or ChatGPT and create your own GPT that is specific to you. You can upload specific documents. You can have it create very specific things. And so it really is like creating your own assistant for 20 bucks a month, or if you're with Keller Williams and use Gemini for free 99, right? So this is what we're not going to be doing with AI though. We're not going to be creating spam messages. We're not developing fake relationships. We're not replacing conversations and we're not skipping work. So this is not about, I think, I heard a study recently that said there's concern that over the next 100 years are something about, I'm going to butcher this. I heard it like on a podcast when I was cooking, but basically it was saying that like there's concern that our brains are going to evolve and shrink because of AI usage, because people are going to stop using their brains and just ask AI to think for them. Hey, answer this text message back for me, answer this email back for me, write a book for me, things like that. And that is not the purpose of AI. In fact, you're selling yourself short. If you ask AI to just do everything for you, and you're not wanting to use your brain to answer a text message or an email, or you want to write a book or an essay or you know, I don't know, a speech and you just let AI write the whole thing, you're not using it effectively because, first of all, it's still a computer and it's just using whatever information it's gathered from the internet, right? It doesn't have the creative genius that you have. And so the goal is not that you just have it work for you and let your brain shrink over the next 50 years. It's that you use your brain, your creative energy, you create the thing, then you give it to AI and say, hey, tweak this. How can I improve this? How can I make it better? It's not about skipping the work. It's about um, minimizing the busy work and allowing your creative thoughts to be just that, creative thoughts, instead of having to be the copywriter, right? If AI makes you lazier, you are using it wrong. Say it louder for the people in the back. Do not wait for AI to do everything for you. It's also, by the way, never going to be perfect. AI does make mistakes. And so you have to also read what you're sending to people, make sure it's accurate. Um, and don't wait for AI to be ready to do everything for you. However, if you just use AI like a tool, like a toy, you are missing out. Real agents win when they iterate quickly, when they get into action. I always say imperfect action beats perfect procrastination every single day of the week. And that is the cool thing about AI is you can have imperfect action and get into action faster, but it helps you have less mistakes along the way or helps you spot those mistakes quicker. Okay, so here's your implementation plan. This is your exact challenge for the next 7 days with AI. I want to challenge you to use AI to create your daily plan. Use AI to structure your day. Now you can do this every morning and say, "Hey, here's my calendar for the day." If it were me, I already have my day kind of planned by the time I get to the morning. You guys probably do too. So I would say, ask it to interview you. Remember, my favorite tool, I'm telling you, when I started having AI start to interview me and I started talking to it instead of just giving it prompts, it shocked me how much smarter it got. And like, it's kind of spooky how much it knows me. So, and I don't have to remind it anymore. It just knows it, right? So, why not say, hey, here's, what my calendar looks like for the next 7 days. Here's my goal for February. Help me create my daily plan. Then you're going to create your lead gen script. Create at least one lead gen script per day for how you're going to talk to your database, to your leads to follow up. And you can even put in, hey, here's what I normally say. What can I say better or different? How can I stand out more and get people to reply back to me or get more results? Here's my open house leads. Here's the things I've said in the past. What could I say differently today to generate results, right? So you're not just saying, create a script for me. Talk to it, tell it what you want, let it know the goal. And then if you don't like what it says, ask it again. Then the next thing you're going to do in the next 7 days is we're going to create one follow-up message per day. So essentially, when you get into the office, I want you to think about this like you're using AI like your daily assistant every day. You sit down for your 2 hours of lead gen that we're all doing every day, right? Every day from 9 to 11, we lead generate because it's one of the 4 skills you need to know as an agent. By the way, if you don't know what the 4 skills are, because I know some of y'all are new, it's every day. Here's all you need to do as an agent: lead generate, lead follow up, go on buyer seller appointments, negotiate contracts. Those are the 4 main skills you need to learn, and everything else will come. So ask it when you're in your lead gen time, what's one follow up message I can say to this pool of people today? I reached out to them a week ago, they didn't respond, or here's what happened. What can I say today to follow up? And then weekly review. Analyze your calendar and results. Here's how I spent my time this week on Friday. Go back through the week. Here's how I spent my time. What could I have done differently? Here's the results. Help me with how to do this better. And that's it. That's it. It's that simple. Essentially, I think the biggest message, if you take nothing else away from today, when we're talking about AI systems for productivity as an agent, is I want you to think about let AI get to know you as much as you possibly can. Talk to it, ask it to interview you. Let it know your challenges. Be transparent and blunt with it. What frustrates you about your business? What are your hopes and dreams? What are your priorities? And it will customize your business to help you get them. Then you can check in, use the implementation plan, and then say, hey, that didn't work. That took me too much time. I didn't get any results. What can I do different? Right? So, all that we're focusing on here is how to consistently and continually start enhancing your productivity through using AI as your free assistant. Isn't that great? Free 99. You didn't have to pay anything for this assistant. Okay, that's it. The agents who win in 2026 will not be the busiest, they will be the most consistent. Like we talked about, AI just simply removes the friction between intention and execution. And the goal of this is that we're building agents in phases here, right? Meaning you might be an advanced agent selling 100 homes a year. You might be, selling 20 homes a year, or you might have just gotten your license. Wherever, or maybe you're somewhere in the mix, right? That's fine. Wherever you are, it's about developing you in your business based on where you are, where you want to go. It is personalized. You run your own race. You put your blinders on. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. They're living their life, not yours. And nobody cares more about your goals and dreams than you do. And so your goal is to use AI to supercharge your productivity so that you can supercharge your way to your results. Remember, it's first productivity and consistency, then it's advanced leverage, then it's customizing those systems designed around your business. And this is the kind of system we're building here at Keller Williams Connected. This is what I'm super passionate about helping agents develop. If you've ever been at our office, you know our slogan is transforming the real estate experience for that reason. It's about being modern, supportive, sustainable, and creative. That's all I have for you guys today. Let me stop the screen sharing real quick. I would love to hear what questions you guys have, feedback. I hope this is helpful for y'all. And I'm so excited to hear what you guys do with AI in the next week. Okay, let me just scroll through, see if there's any particular questions or anything. Thank you. That was extremely helpful. You're welcome, Siobhan. I love it. Oh, don't get the point about the character post. Yes, no, I agree. I think people do it out of FOMO. Some people do it, and then everybody else wants to start doing it, and then they're just trying to get engagement. But I know that's not the purpose. That's not how you grow your business with AI, but it can be fun if you're bored, right? AI is only good as the input it is taught. That's exactly right, Joey. Absolutely. We've got beginners, we've got intermediate, we've got advanced. That's awesome. It doesn't matter wherever you are, just embrace where you're at and continue to grow. I like the idea of AI interviewing me. I never thought about that. It's basically only use it by giving. Yes, I'm telling you that asking it to interview you will change the game. And I've even done it with my husband where like we've done our family planning, like our personal planning and sat together and I said to AI, hey, Josh and I are sitting here together and we're working on our vision for our family for 2026. Interview us as a couple with what our priorities and goals are and help us make our 2026 plan. So thanks for that. I agree. Force multiplier. Let me see if I missed anything else. Oh, Joey, you're going to do it. Don't worry. AI is definitely a great way to help you grow your real estate business alongside having another job. That's for sure. Um, okay. Ashley Marsh said, I've been trying to figure out how to get my calendar into AI to help with time blocking. I like the interviewing as well. I can try to give you a step by step, but the Google Calendar part is actually relatively simple. You just go to the settings, hit export calendar, and then it'll be in like a weird, I think it's like an ICS file or something. Don't worry about trying to open it. You can just give that file to ChatGPT and it can read it. So awesome, guys. Anything else? Any questions, comments? Thank you for being on. I hope you really learned a lot, and I'm excited to hear what you implement in the next 7 days. Don't forget, next week, our level up is next Tuesday, Level Up with Lori, 11 to 12. And we're going to be doing an industry update next week. So we're going to be talking about what's happened so far in 2026 in the real estate industry, in the economy. And I hope that you'll be able to leave with some tools that help you feel empowered for your business. Awesome. What habits, mindset around AI should new agents build before they're licensed so that we're not playing catch up later? Oh, that's a great question. I really think if you just started working with the basic beginner prompts in this slide deck and the cheat sheet that I'm going to give you, and then tell AI where you're at. You can say, "Hey AI, I'm about to get my real estate license. I'm so excited to launch. Here's how much money I want to make in my first year. Here's how much business I hope to do. Interview me, learn about my life and my priorities and my schedule to help me create a custom plan as I launch my business as a new agent." That is essentially what I would ask it to do. Yes, David, I will send the recording out as long as well, I guess you guys all registered because you're on here. So everybody that registered will get the recording and the slides and the cheat sheet of prompts. So awesome. Tell your friends, invite a friend next time, tell them to come join. I hope it was helpful for everybody. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Thanks for leveling up with me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.